I've got some worksheets. Pretty much for playthrough, so. Oh, you can take a worksheet. It's just here. Alright, so the worksheet you see in front of you is going to be for playthrough. Because since some of you guys, I believe, didn't learn the letters, let me just check if it's true. Could you please raise your hands if you've never learned Slavic letters before? Okay, so there are some of you. And as you can see, we're gonna do letters later. Today we will also cover the topic of like history and culture a bit, just not to do the language too much for those who have just started. So let's take a look. And actually, I usually didn't play the national anthem for the students, but I realized that it's kind of weird that we do not listen to that. So I thought maybe we could start with the Ukrainian national anthem this time. Oh, guys, you can take the worksheet. I actually left a few of them over there and here. Worksheets for those who are late. Guys, if you take the worksheet. Can you take one? Thank you. Okay, so over here we have the Ukrainian national anthem. And what's interesting about that is actually it kind of tells a lot about Ukrainians too. It kind of has this text that tells about the freedom of Ukraine, about our fights and so on. And what's interesting is that it's quite an old song. It was actually created in 1862, and it was a time when Ukraine was the part of Poland and the Lithuanian Kingdom, the Commonwealth, it's called. So people back then were fighting for exactly the same things that we fight today, for our freedom and independence. So the text is actually very, very relevant to today, and you will see it in a second. So it was first performed in 1864, the text of the national anthem or national song. And then it was this 19th century Ukrainian national awakening. That's when people realized that they need to try to create their own state again, because they felt separate from Polish people and Lithuanian people and Russian people, and they had still all the symbols of the nation, their own language, their own culture, and so on. And so back then people tried to create those states, Ukrainian states, and some examples of those states were Ukrainian People's Republic, West Ukrainian People's Republic, Carpatho-Ukraine. They were just states that operated for a very short period of time, mostly because of the oppression from Poland, Lithuania, and Russia again. And then we got independence in 1991, and people offered to have this national anthem as our national anthem again. And I would say growing up in independent Ukraine, it always felt too depressing, because actually it starts with the word Ukraine's glory and freedom didn't die yet. So it was always very, very depressing as a kid. That's the feeling we got. But what we can see right now, actually, it all makes lots of sense, because the history repeats. I wanted to play one of the versions, one of the very recent versions that one of our lead singers did 5 years ago during COVID. So you can see Jan Zelensky as well, and it was COVID times. But maybe first we can just kind of read this part. It's the lyrics of the national anthem. So it goes like, Ukraine's freedom has not yet died, nor has her glory. Upon us, fellow Ukrainians, fate shall smile once more. And then our enemies will vanish like dough in the sun, and we too shall rule, brothers, in the free land of our own. And then the middle part is, we'll lay down, which means like we'll die, and we'll lay down our souls and bodies to attain our freedom, and we'll show that we brothers are of the Cossack nation. So that's one more time. That's the song that was created in 19th century, 2 centuries ago. And if you read the text nowadays, when we have this war with Russia, it actually kind of represents what's going on right now too. What's actually interesting that since Ukraine got independence, Russia didn't really like our anthem, and they would always comment on it. They would be like, oh guys, what are your enemies? Are you talking about us? Because there is always this kind of like pressure between two of us. And as I promised, we're gonna listen to this song, if I can choose it. Wait, oh no. I guess it's because I cannot edit, but... By the way, this is like one of the main squares in Kiev. I'm not sure if they're gonna show it, but the main church, our Saint Sophia Church, is just located here. So it's also a square where people like to put the Christmas tree during Christmas times. It's not the official center of Kiev, but people like it way more than Maidan. And Maidan right now is like a symbol of revolution. You might have seen it in all the videos and pictures. So anytime Ukrainians have a revolution, they go to Maidan. So right now, all of the cultural events are mostly here. It's more like a historical center of Ukraine, of Kiev, I would say. Church, by the way, just a little part of it. And somewhere over here, you will see the monument for one of our biggest Cossacks, and we'll talk about Cossacks in a second. So the last part, where he gets really expressive, is, I would say, the most important part that still keeps us strong during the war. It's the part here, which says, and will show that we brothers are of the Cossack nation. And I just hope that after this class you can remember at least this one word when you speak about Ukraine, and that's the word Kazakh. So we're going to talk about that again today. But also what I wanted to show you is this symbol over here. So it's like a symbol of Ukraine, and it's also our Ukrainian coat of arms that was created around 6th century, and then we decided to bring back during the independence. But what's interesting is that there is an actual word hiding it. There are lots of explanations what the symbol means. Some people think it's like an ego. Some people think it's representation of the family, for example, mother and father and the kid. But lots of people like this explanation, and I just wanted to show it again. So they say there is one word hiding it. And for those who do not know Ukrainian letters yet, I'm sorry for that. For the rest, please help me. What's this word? Yeah, that's good. Maybe we can say it together. It's going to be volia. And this word is even in our national anthem. So that's something Ukrainians always fight for. And as you can cross-check, volia means freedom. So it's also the word hidden in our national symbol, in our Ukrainian coat of arms, volia, freedom. And that's something Ukrainians fight for all the centuries we've been surrounded by our neighbors. So, as I promised, let's do a very, very short history check on the Cossacks. Remember, Cossacks are these people here, and we say that we are very proud to be the Cossack nation. So let's see who they are. First, let's just try to remember that it was, brain fog. It's 13th century. And Mongolians came to the Kievan Rus, and they tried to destroy the Kievan Rus. And what I find very interesting is that almost every nation in the world says that they stopped the Mongolians. Do you guys say it as well? Just like every time I talk to French people or Polish people or pretty much anyone I've met before, they would be like, yes, we stopped the Mongolians. Do you have talks like that here too? No? Did you ever say that you stopped the Mongolians? No? Okay. I find it very funny because the big part of our history is that we stopped the Mongolians. So, if you look at the history of Kievan Rus, remember, it was a very powerful state that started from 5th to 13th century after the Mongolians came and they destroyed it. So the Kievan Rus was like a big kingdom. And what's special about this kingdom is that it actually consisted of many little states, and every state had a prince. So it was not like one king ruling the whole Kievan Rus, but they had lots of like states inside, and every state was like autonomic, and every state was ruled by its own prince. And actually it's something that we say separates us from Russian people, because Russian people are used to have one side, one king that would rule the whole country. And you can see that, for example, for decades, Putin is their king, and they kind of cannot say no to him. While we Ukrainians are used to this system where we have like lots of princes everywhere, and we would change them. So we're used to more democratic system than Russian people are. Just like a fun fact, how Ukrainians and Russians see themselves like separate each other. So once again, Mongolians came, and Ukrainians say that we stopped the Mongolians. And there is this one guy, his name is Danilo Halitsky. So he was a prince somewhere here. He was ruling his own state, and Mongolians came and they destroyed almost everything. So there was this one state, Moscovia. Remember, we talked about that. So we say it's like the beginning of Russia, Moscovia. And they became friends with Mongolians. This part got destroyed completely by Mongolians, so they were fighting. And Mongolians tried to move here, and then over here, there was our Prince Danilo Halitsky, who we say stopped the Mongolians. How did he do that? We say he was very smart. and he knew all the river system in his region. So when Mongolians were coming, he would always be very fast sending his soldiers through the river, and they would attack Mongolians back super fast. So he became a very influential Rus prince because of that, because he stopped the Mongolians. And what is more, back then there was this Pope in Vatican, Innocenti IV, and he gave him a status of the king, which was a very big deal back then. Why did he do that? Because he stopped the Mongolians. But what's funny, if you ask Polish people, they say they stopped the Mongolians. If you ask French people, they say they stopped the Mongolians too. So I guess the history is not really that strict. But that's how we see it. So Danilo Halevsky stopped the Mongolians, and then he created his own kingdom. And his family was ruling for 100 years before they all died over there. And then a very bad period for Ukraine started. So as you can see, over here we have the Polish kingdom, and over here we have the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, and they just took over what became very weak after all of the things happening. And as you can see, this part of Ukraine became the part of two kingdoms. And quite interesting that these two kingdoms kind of had a very different policy on Ukrainian people. So for Polish people, they would just be very strict, and they would be like, you need to follow us. Now we're your masters. You have to listen. So this part was kind of like traumatized by Polish people. It actually kind of shows a lot in modern world as well, because very often, not all Polish people, but so many Polish people still have this mentality that we're masters and Ukrainians are just like the serfs. And sometimes when, for example, there are Ukrainian students in Poland, they will still have this attitude that we're your masters, you know? It's still like going through the centuries. And quite interesting that actually Lithuania is still our biggest friend these days too, and they love us. Like every time you tell Lithuanian people that, oh, I'm Ukrainian, and that's like the biggest friendship from like the first second. We actually share a very good relationship nowadays, and it's very, very supporting. So what's interesting, well, Polish people back then would kind of tell what to do and how to live. Lithuanian would actually give us freedom. So they would send their princess here, Lithuanian princess, and Lithuanian princess would listen to Ukrainian people. Not like listen in terms of follow, but they would adapt to Rus culture, and they would kind of allow us to have our own language, our own culture, and they would find it interesting to kind of like have it in the area. So very different perspective from Polish people who would just spread their own rule to our land. And very interesting part over here, maybe you know, what's this little something at the bottom? Like over here, it's not an island, I forget what the name is. It's like half an island which is like connected to Ukraine. What's the name of it? Yeah, that's the Crimea. So as you might know, actually the war in Ukraine started not in 2022. Do you know when we say the actual date of the war started?
2014.
So it was 2014. So 2014 was the date when a very pro-Russian president was elected, and we didn't like it. Most people in Ukraine didn't want it because Russian president in our heads for many people means a very corrupt government that would send all the resources to Russia. So we had this huge revolution in Maidan. That was the biggest revolution, I would say, when many Ukrainians went, many Ukrainians died. It was terrifying. People would be in Maidan, there would be snipers on the buildings killing those people. It was a very dark period in the life of Ukrainians and people in Kiev especially. So in 2014, here is Kiev, and there were lots of things going on because we have this corrupted president, we have the revolution, and then here is Crimea. For some reason, the Russian troops the Russian army realized that it would be a good moment to take over the Crimea. So they came to this half island and they had a referendum where they asked people, hey guys, so do you want to be Russian or Ukrainian? And in one day, they all said they wanted to be Russian. So now, as you might know, this part is kind of questionable in terms of the international law, because Russian people see it as Russia, and everyone here has the Russian passport, because there was this referendum where people said, yes, we want to be Russia. Very questionable, might be not real, obviously, because one day is not enough for that decision. And for the rest of the world, it's still Ukraine. So that's the area we also fight for. And as you can see, it's been questionable since 2014. And just to explain these two dates again, so 2014 is when Russia attacked Crimea. They came to Crimea and they got this region. And also 2014 is the region when they attacked the eastern part of Ukraine. And 2022 is when the full invasion happened, so they attacked the whole country. And why did I mention that? It's because over here you can find that there is one kingdom, and there are people who are different from Russian people or Ukrainian people. They are called Crimean Tatars. That's like the nation that lives there. And I don't know if you've heard about that, but over time they all moved to this island. And when you go there, there will be a very huge representation of their culture. They're a bit different from Slavic people. They're Tatars. You can see them here. So when Russia attacked Ukraine, the Crimea in 2014, what's important, they never asked Tatars if they wanted to be Russian or Ukrainian. And that's something that they had to do, because they are actually the main people in that land, and they are the people to be asked if they want to be Ukrainian or Russian, if they have a chance. But no one asked them. So these people are considered now to be very humiliated by the regime, because there is actually lots of discrimination going towards them from the Russian government. And lots of them had to move from Crimea to Ukraine just to kind of have support of the Ukrainian government. So that was a little history of Crimea and Crimean people. The name of the nation is written here, Tatars. So they are the main people who live in that island. All right, so let's just take a look here. We've got the Polish kingdom, the Lithuanian kingdom, and the Tatar, I need to check the name, sorry. Crimean Khanate, in Ukrainian Krymske Khanstvo. And over here, there was nothing. So it was just an empty land, and it became the land where all the people who didn't like their life in the Polish kingdom, in the Lithuanian kingdom would come. And it's quite an interesting phenomenon in history. So everyone who was not happy with their life, who felt like they had to do some forced labor, or who felt they were not equal, or pretty much anyone just who hoped to have a better future, would run away and establish the settlement there. So most of the time, there were just people who would be adventurous, so different adventurers, outlaws, meaning they didn't have any rights, or some skilled warriors. And that created this interesting phenomenon of Cossacks. So all the people who didn't like their life, because they had to listen to something they didn't want to listen to, they created their own state with their own rules, and they were fighting for this Ukrainian state, because mostly they were Ukrainian people who felt they had to separate from the rule of other countries. And that's our Cossacks. So the Cossack Dom is the state they formed somewhere here, and that's the state that had become the beginning of the Ukrainian phenomenon of free knights, or how we call them, Cossacks. And just remember, we're very proud of them, because it's our symbol of resistance, our symbol of freedom, and our symbol of democracy, because they didn't listen to anyone. They had their own election, and it was a first try attempt to be democratic, to have a democratic state. And just to have a short break, because I feel like it might be too many facts, I'm going to be on a business trip from Academia Sinica on March 26th. So unfortunately, or fortunately, not sure, we need to choose a time for a makeup class. If you're not able to come, I will not mark it as your absence, but I hope you can try to find the time to come. I think we will watch the movie maybe, so you do not miss much as well if you do not come. And for me, this is the time of my preference, but of course I need to ask you as well. Could you please check your calendar now? We are going to vote, so you're gonna raise your hands in a second, okay? The options. Here are our Thursdays. We have March 12th, so pretty much I hope maybe we can have a class before the class. 4 hours sounds too much, I know, but the first class I think it's gonna be a movie, so it's not like too much information in one day. So once again, March 12th from 2 to 16, March 19th from 2 to 16, just before our class, April 2nd from 2 to 16, or maybe March 16th, Monday from 4 to 6, just our usual time, or March 20th, Friday, from 4 to 6. Could you please make a decision now, which one you like more, and I'm gonna count the hands. You can vote a few times if you, for example, available on 2 days, you can raise your hand twice. So just anytime you're available, okay? Okay, ready? Let's do that. Could you please raise your hands if you are available on March 12th from 2 to 4? One? Just one? Really? Okay. What about the second option? March 19th from 2 to 4. Can you raise your hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6, 7, 7. I think 7. Okay. So the third option is April 2nd from 2 to 4. Could you please raise your hands again? I just see one hand. Okay, one. And then we have March 16th from 4 to 6. 1, 2, 3. 3 of you, really? Okay, guys, when are you free? And the fifth option is March 20th from 4 to 6. Oh, okay, I see more hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess it's our winner. Okay, so if you're not able to come, or can I ask in general, when are you more free? Maybe we can discuss this one too. So for me, it should be after 2 p.m. Do you have any days during the week? Monday? Are you more free on Tuesday, maybe? Is Tuesday better? No? Okay, let's keep this. Okay, it's gonna be March 20th from 4 to 6. And once again, if you cannot come, don't worry. I'm gonna do the online class that day, but if you cannot join, it's not gonna be in your final attendance. So I hope you can come, but if not, it's also fine. So March 20th. Alright. And just a bit more about Cossacks. We don't have that much, it's just a few more slides. So, Cossacks. If you ever wonder what the word itself means, it's just taken from Turkish language, and it means a free man. And just once again, what the movement itself means, it's just all the Ukrainian Serbs tried to escape this like master Serb oppression, so the feudal system in Ukraine, and it created a Cossack movement. And maybe, I'm not sure if you guys heard about that, but it actually makes sense that in Europe back then, you could be born either to a noble family, a nice family, or you would be a Serb, and you would be born into the family of Serbs, and you just had to pretty much listen to your master, listen to the noble family. So the same thing was in Ukraine, or more like in Little Russia back then. So we had like masters. The the noble families, and we had the serfs, who were just unfortunately born to be slaves. And people obviously wouldn't want this future for themselves, because it would mean no education, no rights, nothing. You just had to listen to what the master says, and probably just working somewhere in the field. And so lots of people were running away from this system. They didn't want to be slaves. They didn't want to be serfs. And quite interesting is the image of the Cossack. So over here you can see a stereotype of what the Cossack looks like. And actually we find this image kind of representing the Ukraine. So for example, we've got this one boxer. Is anyone into boxing here? So, for some reason, everyone for example, Michael Tyson, but no one, or maybe not so many people, talk about this guy. His name is Usyk, that's his surname. And what is special about him is that he became an absolute champion in boxing 3 times, which means he got all the 4 belts 3 times. And he had those famous fights with Michael Tyson, and he would win Michael Tyson over and over again. So he's quite a big deal in the boxing field, because before him, it was just one person who could be the absolute champion, just like him. So he's very rare, a rare champion in boxing. But if you look at his image and how he developed his image, let me try to find the recent picture. So obviously he was more polished before, and if the picture opens now, you can see that, oh, too small. Oh, here. Okay, he looks a bit excited here. But as you can see, like, he has this mustache and he has this kind of hairstyle. And why does he have it? Because he kind of tries to show the Cossacks. So that's the style he's following. And if you see the Cossack traits, they were super good riders of horses. Also, they were very good at like handling pain, and there are lots of stories of like Cossacks being bleeding in pain with their, I don't know, arms cut, and they would still be fighting, so they were really good at it. And then something Ukrainians kind of love about them and laugh about is that they were really good at drinking. So obviously, in these regions, you couldn't drink much, right? But they would run away, and they were like drunkies. They were either fighting or drinking, we say. And then this typical appearance of the mustache and like this hairstyle and also the earring. And then what we actually love about them is their humor. There is very, very specific humor that they kind of like spread, and still we discuss that. It's very like folklore based. It's very unique, and we still have lots of phrases from their era. And obviously, we love them that much that you can find lots of books with them. You can find lots of merches with them, like stickers, cartoons, you name it. They're everywhere. You can see like the brands of chocolate with the Cossack, or like the brands of dumplings with the Cossack. It's everywhere. Like, they're our heroes. And there are some stories about Cossacks. We don't have time to read them because they're huge books, but if you like reading and if you're interested, that's something I would recommend. So, number 1, we've got, go ahead, that's correct. So, quite interesting. Russians like to claim every Ukrainian author to be theirs. So, if you see a good Ukrainian author who was born over here, so in the land that we think was occupied by Russians, they would always say, no, he's not Ukrainian, he's Russian. Even though he was speaking Ukrainian, he was saying he's Ukrainian, but Russians like to claim good, famous authors to be theirs. So this guy, Nikolai Gogol, is said to be Russian on Wikipedia, I'm pretty sure, but he was actually Ukrainian. He was born in Ukraine, and he writes about Ukraine, he speaks Ukrainian, and he calls himself Ukrainian, which is the most important. So this book is very heavy. If you're into heavy books, that's the one for you. So very serious, Taras Bulba. That's about the Cossack, and it just dives you into the whole atmosphere. But it's very heavy, just be ready. It's not the light book. Maybe if you like something lighter, that's the one. Also, just him, Nikolai Hovol, in Ukrainian, Mykolai Hovol, the lost letter. Also about the Cossack, but it's not just the Cossack, but there are also spirits and some magic and like way lighter. And Hovol is famous for creating this like spiritual atmosphere with like witches and very interesting Ukrainian picture of the past. So maybe you can check that. Then we've got a very famous author in Ukraine called Ivan Franko, and he also wrote about Carpathian Mountains and the village resisting the Mongolian invasion, and it mentions the Cossacks too. So quite an interesting read, also a bit heavier. And something that actually we're gonna read, and it's gonna be your homework, but it's only 11 pages of a very easy read. It's our female author who goes under a fake name, Marko Vovchok. I'm not sure if you can tell, but Marko Vovchok is the male's name, and since she was writing in the 19th century, she couldn't be a woman back then. I mean, she couldn't be a writer back then if she was a woman, because probably no one would take her seriously. So she was writing under the male's name. And she has lots of tales. So the tale we are going to read is Kozachka, which means the Cossack woman. And it's a story of the lady who was born to be a Cossack, so she was born to be free, but she was forced to be married to a serf, to a slave. And it's just a very interesting picture of her being free Cossack lady, and then the difference of her being married to a slave and how much her life has changed. And it's a very easy read, you will see. Even if English is not your first language, it's very easy to read, a very easy novel. So what happened to her, she lost her freedom, her family is controlled by the landlord, and her dignity and independence are destroyed. And since it's a cultured class, I think it's the book that we can read because it represents quite a lot from that time. And usually I don't give books to read, but I hope you have time to do that. Please do so. By the way, I posted it to iClass, so maybe we can check together, please. If you go to iClass, it's just here, so it's called Vovchok Cossack Girl. And it's 12 pages, and as you can see, it's actually not like that many letters. So I finished it today in 25 minutes. I think you can do it fast as well. It's a very easy read. All right, but it's gonna be for later. Because now, let me check the time. Okay, we still have some time. Let's move to Ukrainian language, guys. And for those who have just started, I actually put not just Ukrainian, but also like Latin. So everyone can try to read together now. And over here, we just have 3 questions that we have learned during the first semester. So it's going to be all about me or se pro mene. If you don't have this worksheet, please take it because I printed it out. Does everyone have it? Do you guys have it? Okay, that's good. So the topic today is all about me. And you guys, can you try to read how you say it in Ukrainian? First one. That's good. Once again, se pro mene, which means all about me. So over here, you've got 3 questions, and let's start with the one that you already know the answer to. So this question is, what's your name? So please repeat after me. Try to remember if you don't know yet. Let's review if you learned it before. It's going to be Як тебе звати? That's good. And it means, what's your name? Do you remember how to answer this question? Yeah, that's good. So you learned it last time. Remember, it was Мене звати, and then you can give your name. Okay, that was the first thing. Let's move to the second one. this question over here is, where are you from? And let's say, звідки ти? And the last question we talked about last semester was about different jobs you can have. Since you're all students, it's also the way to answer this question. So it's pretty much, what do you do? What's your job? What do you do? Let's say, хто ти за фахом? Yeah, what's your job? So over here, obviously, it's kind of hard to read if you didn't learn the letters before. Just treat it as, the book when you travel, and it's like you learn random phrases. So don't put too much pressure in remembering that, but just have it as something fun to remember, okay? Okay, one more time. So if you want to ask what someone's name is, let's say, як тебе звати? If you want to ask where someone is from, let's say, звідки ти? And what's your job? Let's say, хто ти за фахом? Alright, and now let's try to read this part. So the one here, I hope everyone can try to remember this word, because it's just the way to greet someone. So next time you walk in, you can say, good afternoon. Or in Ukrainian, let's say, добрий день. Okay, one more time, please. Добрий день. Okay, and what might look a bit strange over here is this part, right? So it's something Ukrainians call, and Russian people call, a soft sign. So in Ukrainian, it's represented by this soft sign over here, and it's kind of tricky because it's supposed to be silent and it's supposed to explain nothing, but actually it makes this very, very soft sound. It might feel a bit awkward, but let's just try to do it. So this letter is a Ukrainian Latinization for T. Should you tell me? T. But if you have T and this T, you have this little E at the end, which is very, very subtle. So maybe let's practice. This is T. So it's like very, very subtle E sound at the end. So this letter would be the Latin M. But if you do it in Ukrainian, obviously I write in English letters, but there are Ukrainian letters for that. It would be M. Yeah, so maybe I would just do it. So this is T and M in Ukrainian. And let's try this letter S. So in Latin it will be S. And then you add this thing, it's going to be S. So as you can hear, it's just something very subtle. It makes something like E sound. So like T, M, S. So that's exactly what you got here. So the one here would be N, but since you have it, it's going to be N. So maybe one more time, let's say добрий день. And I hope that's something you can all remember. That's good afternoon. And so the next is this sentence over here. If it's not your first time, could you please try to read that? That's very good. So for those who just came, let's say again. Я з Тайваню. And let's find the question to this sentence. What's the correct question? Oh, very easy. So я з Тайваню. What's the question? Yeah, that's correct. So the question will be, where are you from? So let's say, звідки ти? And let's say, я з Тайваню. Right, let's try to read the next thing. If it's not your first class, what does this sentence say? In English, it's going to be, I am a student. In Ukrainian, let's say, я студент. And let's find the question too. That's a good job. So what do you do? Let's say, хто ти за фахом? And let's say, я студент. And the last thing is going to be something you know already. How do you say, my name is Natalie? Good job. Let's say, мене звати Наталі. Yeah, that's good. And what's the question? Good, let's say again. Як тебе звати? And let's say, мене звати Наталі. Alright, what we do now, guys, I want you to record this, but I'm gonna ask you the questions, you're gonna answer, okay? That's what we do. So let's practice again. So pretty much, I would just ask you 3 questions, and I will start with Добрий день, and you have to say, yeah, exactly, Добрий день, and then I would ask you, звідки ти, and you have to say this. What's that? Good, let's say again, я з Тайваню. And then I will ask you, хто ти за фахом, and you have to say, good, let's say, я студент. And sorry, it's more like oo sound, so maybe I'll correct. Let's say again, я студент. So in English, it will be more like this oo sound, either than you, I guess. So I just corrected. And the last thing, I would ask you what your name is, and I guess you can say your name again, even though you did it last time. So if I say як тебе звати, you would say. That's correct. So if it's your second semester, it's going to be a revision. If it's your first time, let's try it. So please take your phones and please open Teams. If you haven't found me yet, it's going to be this number. You can try to find me. And please don't judge. This is my name. Something like this. So you can try to find me if you haven't found me yet. And please record these sentences, okay? So please take your phones now, everyone, Teams. And you're gonna record your voice now. I'm gonna check together with the last class. Sorry, I didn't have time to do that. Okay, so we start with good afternoon. So pretty much now I'm gonna say good afternoon. You're gonna repeat after me, okay? That's number 1. Let's go. Добрий день.
Добрий день. Добрий день. Добрий день. Добрий день.
Oh, you're too fast.
Добрий день. Я студент. Добрий день.
All right, I hope you're ready. So that was number 1. The second one, let's practice, okay? You get to say I'm from Taiwan, so let's practice now. Please don't record yet. So, я з Тайваню. Okay, so my question to you is, звідки ти? And you have to say. Just So the next thing, please don't record yet, let's practice. You get to say I am a student. So я in Ukrainian is I am or I, right? Let's say я студент. So my question to you is, хто ти за фахом? Please record. All right, and the lesson is something you know already, so no practice, just please answer. Як тебе звати? And you can say my name is. Great, and we only have 1 minute left, so it's going to be a break time for 10 minutes, and after that we're going to learn the numbers from 1 to 10, so we do the roll call in Ukrainian. next class. Okay, 10 minutes break, see you soon.
全新上市选取。
Alright, so guys, just for you, these 5 questions, because I hope you listened and you do know the answers for them. Let's check what you learned. So the first question, and if you know, please just answer, no need to raise your hand. So, who destroyed the Kievan Rus and killed many people? And by many people, I mean around 50,000 people, which was a lot back then. Guys, you have to know, I've said it like twice, at least. So remember, from 5th to 12th century, we had Kievan Rus that was like great and great state. And then some came around 13th century and they killed everyone and they destroyed Kievan Rus. Who were those people? Yes, thank you. So the first answer is Mongolians. Mongolians destroyed the Kievan Rus. So the second question is, who is Danilo Halitsky? There was just one prince that we talked about today. So Danilo Halitsky is the prince who became a king. And what did he do? Why did he become the king?
Stop the war.
Yeah, that's what Ukrainians believe in, at least. So he stopped the Mongolians. He stopped the Mongolian invasion. All right, so this question next. Under which countries was Ukraine during the 14th to 16th century? So the modern land of Ukraine was divided among a few countries back then. Which countries? Yeah? So it was the Polish kingdom, obviously a bit different name. What else? Starts with L. Please don't forget, they are one of the biggest supporters of Ukraine right now as well. That's the country. This country. So back then it was a Lithuanian kingdom. And I hope you remember that Polish people back then didn't treat Ukrainians nicely, but under the Lithuanian kingdom, they actually supported our language and culture a lot. So maybe it's one of the reasons why Ukrainian didn't disappear till now. And the last question is, what does the word Cossack mean? Oh, actually, kind of correct. So, free people, right? And which language does it come from?
Turkish.
Yeah, it comes from Turkish. And they are our heroes. They're our warriors that we're very proud of. Okay, so main question. So today, hope you remember this part. Right, and let's take a look. The next part is the numbers. So it's also on your worksheet, and that's something I hope we can try to read together. So I'm gonna read, you repeat after me, okay? So from 1 to 10, let's go. So number 1, Ukrainian is Odin. And I kind of missed the stress, I'm sorry for that. So I think you know what the stress is, right? Just to explain, like, for example, in English, we don't say mother, we say mother, and that's the stress. So in Ukrainian language, we usually put this sign above the letter to show it's stressed, but since it's quite hard to find it when I type, I usually just underline it. That's what I do. So sometimes you can see the stress above, it just means this vowel is stressed, and sometimes I just underline it, which also means it's stressed, okay? It just means you need to put the pressure there on that vowel. So in this word over here, I forgot to put it, so maybe we can do it. That's the one. Let's take it, Odin. Okay, the second one, number 2, let's say, dva. let's say 3. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Then it gets a bit harder. Let's see. 4. And the stress is just here. So this letter here represents the sound not the previous sign. If you do learn Ukrainian before, let's try to say it. It's just And 4, once again, let's say 4. Okay, and let's do the next thing. So here you have a sign. If you haven't learned it yet, just kind of skip it. Let's look here. This one is 2, remember. So we have 2, and the stop sign, let's say 2. And the word is 5. Okay, let's count one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. The next one is, once again, you see you have just 2, but you add the stop sign, and it becomes 2. And let's say sheest. So maybe it's not very good representation. I feel like it's not I, it's more like E. Can we correct that, please? I'm sorry. So instead of I, it's more like this. E. Okay. And then this like 2. Let's say again, sheest. Alright, back to some easy ones. 7 is going to be sim. Then we have 8. Let's say visim. And the stress is here on the first vowel. Then we have 2 again, and this word deviate. And the last thing. So we have sim and 2. And together it's deset. I feel like this one might be a bit hard. But what we do now, could you please take teams again? And we're just gonna repeat after me. So if you want to do it at home, you can just listen to yourself and I will check what you say. Okay, so we just go number by number and you send me 10 short audios. And I would check later and you can hear if you said it right or not next time, okay? So let's go. Ready? Your teams, your audio. We start with 1. Please record after me. Odin. Everybody, don't be lazy. I think it's important just playing with phones rather than recording. Let's do that. So 2, let's say va. Alright. 3 in Ukrainian, let's say 3. Oh, guys, do you need help? I feel like maybe I can help. But just make sure everyone's on the same page. Do you need help? Guys, does everyone know where to record? Could you raise your hand if you still don't know? Alright, let's move to number 4. Let's say 4. And then let's say 5. And then let's go 6. Alright. The next sentence, seem. And then let's say вісім. And then 9. I just feel like maybe this representation is a bit too complicated. So it's more like this. They said. Alright, and now what we do, let's practice in real life. So we're gonna do the I-class roll call now. I'm gonna say 4 letters in Ukrainian and you will try to find it, okay? That's what we do. So it's time for a roll call, no one can see it. And I'm just gonna say 4 numbers. Okay, ready? So, but please don't translate. Let's just try, okay? So, 4. 5. 9. Oh wow, you're good guys. 19 people in. That's quite good. 22. Wow, you're good as well. Okay, just one more time. Okay. 4. 5. 9. Okay, and for those who didn't make it in yet, 4 is 4. Okay, 5 is so 5, and the last one is 9. 9. That's good. So once again, 4, 5, 5, 9. All right. And so the next thing is pretty easy. Let's just count what we've got here. So we've got these objects, and you have this question over here. It's kind of useful because if you ever want to buy something in Ukrainian, or if you want to ask how many, or how much does it cost, that's the question. So you can use it asking about the price, or you can ask it like when you count something. So that's the question here. Maybe guys, those who know how to read that. Yeah, that's good. So once again, let's say skilke. It means how many. Or if you want to ask how much is it, how much does it cost, you can also ask skilke. So if you are ever in the Ukrainian market, you just can ask skilke and people will give you the number. So what I want you to do now, can you spend some time just counting these objects? So if it's your first class, you don't know Ukrainian yet, please just write Latin, okay? If you feel confident, you can write real numbers. And then I pick some random people and I'll ask how much, and you have to give the answer. So please make sure everyone writes, okay? Okay, so for example, number 1, you just count how many. So skilke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So you have to write down this number. If you're good at Ukrainian, you just write down in Ukrainian. If you just joined us, you write down Latin. So that's what we do, okay? Just continue. Okay, let's do it this way. I'm gonna give a microphone to some first person in the row, and what we do, first we just read the numbers, so each person gets one number, okay? Sorry for pointing this at the group. And then I will ask Skilke, and you have to give the answers, okay? I'll explain again. Okay, so we start with you, okay? And then you pass your microphone back. We start with numbers. You just say one number.
Any number is okay.
No, one by one.
Or 10.
Okay, that's good. Everyone, let's say Odin.
Два.
Very good. Let's say Dva. Very nice.
Пять.
Good. Let's say Three.
Три.
Very nice.
Четыре.
Good. Let's say Chotyr.
Четыре. Семь. Пять.
Good. Everyone, let's say Пять.
Пять. Шесть.
Very good. Let's say Шесть.
Шесть. Семь.
Good. Let's say Семь.
Семь.
Maybe forward, please. Great. We're going to say Eight. Good job. Let's say Вісім.
Восемь. Девять.
Good. Let's say Девять.
Девять.
Good. Maybe the line in front of you, it's easier. Good, let's say dissect. Alright, and now we move to the pictures. So my question would be how much, and you give the number according to the number of objects. Maybe just in front of you, please. So number one, my question to you is skilke. Okay. So we can write it down now. Okay? The next number two, picture number two, skilke. That's good. So please make sure you write it down. Either the representation or Ukrainian. Yes. The next thing, the third one, skilke. Okay, that's good.
Visitor.
Bishop, thank you, basic. And the next thing, I didn't count, I hope you're right. It's nice. You say, and then the sixth one, skilke.
Visitor.
Basic. And the last thing, she's. That's it. Thank you. All right, so I hope you can just memorize the pronunciation of numbers. You don't need to memorize the writing of it. So we're gonna repeat this again and again, since from now on the roll call is only in Ukrainian. So that's your motivation to learn. All right, and for those who learned letters already, it's gonna be kind of like, what's the word? We're gonna return and do it over again. But it's slightly different from what we have done. So over here, you can check the QR code and you'll find all these letters, all the Ukrainian letters with the phonics. So you can click on these letters and they will tell you how it sounds. So you can kind of listen to it at home. If you want to learn more, they have all the letters that the Ukrainian alphabet has. So if you are curious and you want to learn faster, you can check at home a bit more. But today we only learn the letters that you can already recognize. So they kind of look like your English letters, but they might or might not sound the same way as English. So over here you have some consonants and you have some vowels. Look like English. Let's write down what they actually sound, okay? So if it's your second semester, maybe you can help me. What's the first letter? Okay, so that's the letter you see. The pronunciation is V. So you can just write down the English letter below. And in Ukrainian, we have a big letter and a small letter. If it's printed, it looks exactly the same, just a big version and a small version. Over here, let's say you have a big one, so the small one would be exactly the same, but just smaller in size. We also have our own handwriting, but if it's your first semester, we don't focus on that. Just try to remember this, okay? So, once again, this letter is V. If you want to review at home, you just can scan your QR code and listen, because once you press on it, on your phone, it's gonna play the letter. Okay, the next is very pleasant because it's the same with English. Just please mind, it's always the same. So if in English it's gonna be a long line, in Ukrainian it's always the same. So big K, small K, looks the same. And as I said, it's sound K. So please write down this under the letter. All right, exactly the same happens with this letter. So if you want a small version, it's just going to be big and small one the same, just different in size. So uppercase and lowercase is the same in Ukrainian. And what is this letter? Yeah, it's just like English, very pleasant. Let's say M. And then the next letter is a bit tricky because it doesn't sound like English. What's this letter? Good job. But it says N. No. So it's like English and you're correct. But let's say N.
No.
Then this letter is different too. What is this letter? That's good. And just, I hope we can add a bit more roaring. Let's say R. And then we have this letter here, which is S. Good job. Let's say S. Then this letter is very nice because it is the same, but it's just mine, the same writing for a big one and a small one. What is this letter? T. And we've got one more. It's unfortunately a different letter. In Ukrainian, let's say H. Okay, so once again, the circle is Ukrainian, the one below is its English equivalent, how it sounds. Let's go letter by letter now. Okay, let's go. V. K. M. N. R. S. T. H. Okay, please remember. And let's move to the vowels. So in English, vowels are A, E, I, O, U. In Ukrainian, you see all the vowels here below. Right here. All right, let's start with the first thing. What is this letter? Yeah, Bishop. Actually, usually we write like this. And this letter is more like ah. Not just And this one is And just to make it easier, I would say like egg, like an egg. So you remember it's this sound, okay? Egg. I would do egg in egg. And then the one here. E. So this is E like in eat, for example. E. And this is O. Like in or, for example, so O. And then the last letter. O, like, so it's exactly the same, the big one and the small one, for all of them except for E. So E is slightly different, as you can see, because it has a dot, that's all the difference. So O, like in food, O, just like make it longer. So let's do it again, it's E, O. Right, and you can listen again at home. So if it's your first class especially, don't focus that much on numbers yet. Please focus on that. Make sure you know the letters. It's more important. If it's your second semester, please make sure you know the numbers. All right, and what we do now, let's just read some standard Ukrainian vehicle numbers. So that's how they look in Ukraine, and all the numbers mean which region they come from. So I'm going to show you a few more vehicle number plates, and we're just going to tell which is going to read them. But then, so you know, each represents some region. And we start with the one here. So I guess let's do first two together, and then I'll give a microphone, so we make it a bit more exciting. And the number is all the same, so once you know it, it's gonna be fine. So, guys, let's do the first two together. What do you say? Okay, that's good. Let's say and then. Oh, good. I'll just write down for those who just joined, so it's a bit easier. Okay, so it's gonna be good. Let's say and then. Okay, один. And then? Yeah, that's good. Let's say чотири. And the last one is? П'ять. That's good. Let's say п'ять. Alright, so once again, let's say три. Один. Чотири. П'ять. And then two more letters. Good job. And the last one is H. So exactly the same as English. So maybe once again, три, один, чотири, п'ять, H, T. Okay, let's move to this line. So what do you see? Good job. And then H, very good. And then три, один, чотири, п'ять. And then N. Right? And the last one is R. Okay. So we got two of them. And then let's start with someone who knows letters already. And then if you don't know yet, don't be nervous. It's gonna be fine. Maybe. And just press it backwards. So you got display. What does display say? So good job. And then? No, good job. And then? Very good job. Very good. Yeah. Very good. And then? Oh, good job. And then? Good job. And actually, I feel like it's quite obvious, but the English equivalent, or like the Spanish equivalent, and in Russian or Ukrainian, you can see this. It all means the same. So it's like, haha. Alright, could you please pass it backwards? Oh, yes, you got it. Okay, so what do you see? Good job. What's next to you? So, very good. Very good. Yes. Very good. And then? Very good. Very good. Okay, let's read the next one. Yes. Very good. Very good.
No.
Very good.
One. Two. Three. Four. Yeah.
Good job. E. Very good.
S. E.
Very good.
H. Один. Чотири. П'ять.
Very good.
К.
Very good.
В.
Very good.
От. Три. Один. Чотири. П'ять. Н. Х.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, good job, guys. So this one was easy. Now we do something more traumatizing. So these are actual Ukrainian words. The pleasant part, it's quite easy to read in Ukrainian. They're mostly no changes, so you read what you see. So just to prove that, maybe we can do the first 5 together, and then we go and press the microphone, okay? Let's start with something easy like mom. How do you say mom in Ukrainian? And especially if it's your first class, maybe we can do letter by letter, okay? So it's m, a, and let's say mama. So if it's your first class, please make sure you write Latin, okay? So the second one is dad. So what are the letters? What do you see? Yeah, good job. So it's the, the, or. And let's say tato. Then we have the word she. How do you say she in Ukrainian? Yeah, good job. And for those for whom it's the first class, let's go letter by letter. What do you see? V. And then O. And then N. And then A. So let's say Vona. Alright, and then you have the word it. How do you say it in Ukrainian? Okay, so we just go letter by letter, right? We start with V, and then you have O, and then N, and then O. And you have Vono. Alright, let's try the word he. How do you say he in Ukrainian? Good job, let's go letter by letter. You have V, and then you have E, and then you have N. Good job, let's say B. Alright, and so now could you please pass the microphone to the next person? And it's up to you. If it's easy for you to read, you just read. If you don't know yet, take your time and just tell me the letters first, okay? So I know everyone is a different level here. Who's next? Just pass it to someone because someone close to you.
So,
Good job. Let's just go letter by letter. What do you have? So,
O, no.
good job. And son is tree in Ukrainian. So everyone, let's say son. Okay, please pass it to the next person. Don't say no. Let's go letter by letter. What do you say?
O, S.
Good job. We don't say S, we say the sound, which is S. Oh, but can you say the word together so you have N, os? Nos, good job. So nos means nose. And let's say nos. Yeah, let's do the next thing. Let's do letter by letter. What do you say? Well, don't say R. These are more like English sounds, so it's like okay, and then
O,
very good,
T,
very good. And together,
O,
Ro. Could you say it? Ro.
Ro.
Okay, good. And this is mouth, like.
U,
Very good.
T,
Good job. And together,
U,
good job. Little cup, which is our right hand. Okay, let's move to the one here.
O,
Good job. But the stress is here. So it's not soba, it's
A,
good job. So it's going to be S and then O, V, A. And everyone say soba. Alright, who's next? Maybe. I don't mind.
A,
Good job. So you have K, you have A, you have T, and A. So everyone, let's say hata. Okay, let's see the next one. Lady, take the microphone. Good job. And then? Good job. And it makes? Good job. Let's say run. And if you need a translation, so this is an owl, this one is a house, and this one is a temple. Okay, let's see the next thing. The next thing is wound. How do you say wound in Ukrainian? Good job. So we have run. Let's say rana. Okay, the next one is a novel.
No.
Good job. And it makes? Good job. Everyone, let's say roman. So this word is a bomb.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay. And it makes? Oh, could you say the word together? Good job. Everyone, let's say Nina. Good job. Good job. So it's a window. And let's say vikno. And the last is going to be the sea. Good job. And let's say more. Okay. So just for you to see that actually reading in Ukrainian is not that complicated. If you just try to remember what the Latin is, and if you do like this, you will be able to read. But first, please learn the letters that we've got today. That's going to be for those who have just joined. Okay, so no more Ukrainian language. The last part is just going to be you watching our main dance in Ukraine. So we have this dance, which is called hopak. Could you say with me? It's going to be hopak. And first of all, it's the main dance in Ukraine, and every Ukrainian learns how to dance it at the kindergarten. And it's a bit complicated, as you can see, for men, but it's very easy for women. Why is it like that? Because actually hopak is a training exercise for Cossacks. So back then, our Cossacks that we talked about had to fight a lot, right? And before they would go to fight, they would dance and they would kind of like hop, they would do lots of squats, and over time it became our dance. So in a second you will see that actually it's kind of like complicated for men. And it's very easy for women, as you would be able to see as well, only because back then women didn't do that. They added the female dance later in time, and most of the time girls just like run around and dance around men who do all the complicated part. So once again, it's the army training back then, and now it's a big cultural symbol of Ukraine. So I'm going to show you two things. Number one is this one person trying to copy the hopak from like 19th century. He didn't do that well, I could say, but let's see what he has to say.
Have you ever heard of the hopak dance? This dance form was founded by Ukrainian Cossacks and is based on very quick, sharp, snappy, kind of acrobatic movements close to the ground. In this video you can see the Red Army Choir performing some of the moves, and well, in this video my buddy Ludwig and I try some of them. Welcoming on the channel, Ludwig.
Thanks for having me.
Actually, you know more about this video than Ludwig right here does, because I asked him to simply join this video as a surprise. I'm excited.
Thank you very much.
So actually, in this video, we are going to recreate some of the moves from the soldier stance from the Alexandrov ensemble.
Whatever that means.
Let's take a look at it. Do you know this one? Oh, amazing, perfect. It's one of the oldest videos on YouTube. I saw it as a kid and I was amazed, and I recently discovered it back again, and I thought, you know, maybe we can create some of the movements. So there is actually quite a few interesting ones.
iPad 真的能当电脑吗？当然能，装上键盘立刻升级办公效率。VIP maintenance to 防。
Something like this, right? So what do you say?
Yeah, easy peasy.
Easy peasy. We're gonna see about that.
Right, let's stop here. They didn't do that well because it's actually very complicated, even if you're an experienced dancer. And let's watch those who can actually do that. So that's an actual dance by the Ukrainian dance group. I hope you can remember two things. So number one, it's our Ukrainian national dance code. Once again, Opa. Okay. And so what's interesting about it, you can see lots of jumps and like complicated movements. It's only because it was a training exercise for our Cossacks, for our warriors in the 18th century. If you want to check more, you can watch the links. So the homework, please don't forget to read the story, like the Closet Girl story, and try to remember the numbers. You don't need to know the spelling, just try to pronounce them. And if it's your first class, please learn the letters. And I would say the most important is to learn the letters if it's your first class, so please focus on that. Alright, and that's it. So we can say two things. Number one is going to be goodbye, which is, yeah, that's good. Once again, bye. And we can also say thank you. Thank you in Ukrainian is, okay, let's say дякую. Okay, let's say two things, please. Let's say дякую. And let's say бувай. Great. See you next time. Bye-bye.